back. Over here.
Interesting time of day.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, and it's a Thursday.
A Thursday at 3:21 Pacific time.
All right, I know you said F the pizza stories.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're
Are we
live.
live?
That's what I was trying to say. You said F the pizza stories. We're jumping right into it, correct?
Yeah, and I don't have a pizza story. You know, I got nothing. I've been actively not getting pizza, given my current employment situation, which we won't get into. But today is a big day. We've been alluding to this day, even last week. I didn't realize it would come so fast, but whoo, been putting in work on my days off. This is the big day. This is Scooter YouTube analytics for the year 2023. Now I know it's 2024, but obviously I had to wait for 2023 to come to a close. And most of the data gathering is what took the longest. So these numbers I started getting in January, so they still should be pretty relevant. You know, some numbers have gone up in the last couple months, but when I got the numbers, it was January, and then I took a break. Then spent the last few days assembling all the data into some nice little PowerPoint slides and charts for the people. So the overall purpose of what I've been doing for fun is just, we grew up where, at least in action sports, kind of the way to consume media was you would film parts and put out like a full length on like a DVD, VHS, because that's how far back we go. And then eventually in the early 2000s, YouTube came up, and it was a lot of like, you would still do that stuff, make the videos, have premieres, but then you could actually put the full length afterwards up on YouTube. And then for years, that was kind of like how things were going. Like, we phased out doing DVDs and VHSs. And even when I was on Urban Art in like 2012 to 2000 whatever, we talked about stuff like, oh, we're filming for the DVD. We weren't like, oh, we're filming for the TikTok or for the Instagram short. Like, and even then it was like kind of the tail end of like mentioning DVDs, because no one's doing that now. Go on.
Aztec did just 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
there are a few, but like in general, just in action sports and like just overall,
not very far.
It came to putting stuff on YouTube. And then a few years ago, people started doing more on Instagram, and Instagram allowed videos, and then TikTok came up. So I decided it kind of seems like people aren't doing as many like full lengths, like scooter brands. We'll just focus on scootering. You could say probably the same for BMX, skateboarding. Maybe not so much skateboarding, but just kind of wanted to look at, okay, in 2023, what were brands doing with their YouTube pages? Like, what full-length videos or long form, or you'll see in the graphs I put like long. What brands were still putting out long videos on YouTube, and then how are they doing with the shorts? Because the shorts, I mean, they started, I think, as early as 2021, 2022. And also YouTube kind of automatically created shorts for certain videos. If it saw it was filmed, you know, vertically, they just created it, but then you click on it and it's like 2013 when they didn't even have shorts. So kind of the whole purpose was was to just look at YouTube and see how scooter brands have been using YouTube, or how they used it in 2023, because I feel like we've been going this direction, but it's finally now tipping to where the bulk of the media consumption is Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, but in shorts. So I didn't focus on Instagram, again, because I kind of wanted to focus more on like the traditional media that seems to be getting phased out, which is like full length edits, even like individual like mini vids and stuff like that, like a rider putting out their part for a brand on YouTube. And I feel like there definitely was that. We've looked at that in some of the previous episodes, but The bulk of the media is in shorts, Instagram, TikTok. So yeah, again, the purpose of this is really just to look at what seems to be kind of a half a dying medium, which is the long form uploads, and then comparing it to shorts. And that will probably gives us a decent gauge for what's going on with Instagram and TikTok, which is kind of that same under a minute short form thing. So that's what this is. And there's 62 accounts I looked at, and people are going to say, well, look, this person isn't there, this person isn't there. I didn't get everyone.
Leave it
that
in the
would have been
comments.
crazy.
Love to see those
Leave it
comments.
in, yeah. I even after I finished this, I saw one yesterday. I was like, oh, I should have included them. But this is just to give a general idea of the state of the industry for media, YouTube, long form uploads. It's just for fun. It's just for fun. And I kind of broke it down. There's like 5 categories. There's content creators like Olay or Trendkill that like they just exist to push content. Then there's actual like product makers like us, Hella Grip or an Aztek, brands that make products and like their account page. Then I have stores, you know, like the Vault has an account. Then there's writers / vlogs. It's kind of a weird one. I decided to combine them because some writers actually posted like their footage. Like, this is my part, which was very rare. But the bulk of it is kind of like a vlog style, or like, I'm just going to ride my skate park, blah, blah, blah. And then there are crews, which is another small category and kind of funky. Like, they might fit in other categories, but like, what is it? Like Couch Pant or something, and like Blue Moon. Kind of like what the Overshow would be if they were on this. Some people aren't there at all because they just didn't post at all. Like, if you posted a long form video in 2023 and no shorts, I still included you because that's like half the people didn't post shorts, you'll see. But if you hadn't posted either, like you were just not on YouTube last year, like you're out. And I forget, I had a list somewhere. What's up?
Very concrete.
Yeah, that's why Concrete's not on there. I think Drone or something. They got left out. The only person I included who didn't post a long form but posted one short is Dakota. So he's on there.
Yeah.
He had one short.
Let me say one thing though. You just to clarify too, make sure we're all on the same page.
There's gotta be a lot of clarification going on here.
Addy keeps saying short form versus long form, but it's more than that, because you can upload to your normal, looking here at YouTube, to your normal video part, short format stuff. The thing is that it's almost like it's the time as well as vertical versus horizontal. Because we've uploaded, I think right here is our 15-second advertisement that we did for the Vault. It's horizontal. Now this wasn't uploaded as a short. We should have uploaded it as a short, Addy. That would have been smart.
I know, dude. We were late to the game.
Yeah, on that one we were. But this is 15 seconds and it's horizontal. So it goes under the upload video category rather than into the short category. I just wanted to mention that because I heard Addy say that, just to clarify before somebody leaves that comment.
That's a good point. And also, I didn't include lives. So like Hello Grip, it only shows we had a few videos last year, but I didn't include any of our lives. I just basically went off the videos tab and then the shorts tab. And the real pain in the ass was for the shorts and also the long ones, although that's a little easier. They don't show you the date, so I'd have to go in and click on videos and kind of find out where did their 2023 begin and where did it end. So this was all like manually done. I went into every account. Like Social Blade played no factor in this. Like and also their data, like I think the most you could get is like 6 months, and I needed a whole year, and it wouldn't give me what I needed. So this is a lot more than you'll get with Social Blade. And how I did it is I picked the top. This is the weird. There's a bunch of weird caveats. I just picked the top 5. I went into every account that I had gathered and looked at their top 5 videos. And I'll use the term interchangeably, like videos, long form, full length, but I'm getting at that. Anything that's not a short. So I looked at their top 5 and then for their full length, and then their top 5 shorts. And that was kind of like to give the brands like the best positive light, you know. And then there's more caveats we'll get into when looking at the data that this doesn't really reflect their overall performance,
And
because especially with shorts, their top 5 numbers are drastically different from the bulk of the videos. Like,
same with us.
Drastic. Like, you could have someone whose top 5s are in the millions, but other than those 5, the rest are all like 2,000 views a video. And that's across the board. You know, the average view of the shorts. Yeah, like that's a nice 10K for us, but if you look at the rest, they're around 1,000 to 3,000. So this is another big point, is the numbers are a little funky. Like this doesn't give you the best interpretation, or it's not indicative of how well these accounts or these brands are actually doing overall in terms of their social media and their sales. But it gives you enough of an idea to see how brands are performing, or at least utilizing YouTube. Because I'm sure what everyone's going to be thinking is, I don't see this kid, I don't see that kid. They're huge on social media. But like, yeah, that's their Instagram and or their TikTok. If they're not on YouTube, they're not going to be in this. And a lot of that was just because I'm looking again at something we grew up with, more traditional, and it just cuts down on time. You know, there will be one where eventually I can go
questions.
into Instagram, but that would take so long.
No, that's stupid.
That I didn't want to get into it.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah.
We got some questions in the chat.
Yeah.
So, let's get into it real quick. Also, I wanted to ask, we're doing brands first. Or not brands, my bad. We're doing content creators first.
Yeah, and I think there's only like 4,
okay.
And then the bulk of it is going to be product brands,
yeah,
and then riders/vlogs.
Okay, so before we get into that though, we got mini vids is so pre 2010, Jay Young, Thursday show from Jerry. I'm liking the Claudius spoof, so Josh caught our thumbnail, obviously.
He caught it. There's
Actually,
also
back
here another one. That's a more low-key one.
Yeah, that one's good. That will be next week's thumbnail.
That's me celebrating. I'm done. I'm in the tub, and I'm just breaking it down.
Do short videos count for views overall on YouTube accounts? I don't know. That's a great question.
That is a good question.
If you go here,
don't know.
And that's our full view counts right there. Does that include the short views? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't, because I didn't worry about all that because I was just focused on 2023 and the top 5. Like, some accounts only uploaded 5 or less videos, so that would have been easier to be like, how did they do overall in 2023? But other accounts had like hundreds, and I was not going to go in and add up all those numbers. And again, I was like, oh, well, maybe Social Blade will do it for me. But I don't have like an account, and it only gives you, I think, even with premium, like the last 6 months from when you started looking. Not like I could go in and set a calendar, like give me all the data from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st. If I could have done that, I probably would have had a category about how all their videos for that year averaged out or totaled up. But I did not do that. And I don't think it would really affect the overall performance when comparing the different brands. But, so yeah, there's that. And you will see when we get into it, there really is like 5 people that were very prevalent and did well on YouTube. And then everyone else was kind of the same. But if you zoom in, we look a little more different because, you know, some brand might get 10,000 and another gets 20,000 views on average. And that would look huge zoomed in. But when you zoom out and then you've got Ryan Williams and Raymond Warner up there with millions, it makes it look like everyone else is kind of doing the same. So there's that. I want to see if there's any notes that I'm missing here because I wanted to get into any caveats right away.
50 views on a full video and 50 on a short, so 100 total views on the YouTube account. Yes, I think that is how it works. Is that it is, if you uploaded the same clip, the identical clip, vertical and horizontal, one as a video and one as a short, I think each of those views would count, because there's 2 separate numbers too with YouTube. There's also watch time. And that's what's kind of almost more important as far as ad revenue and all that kind of crap goes, is it's watch time, not necessarily the view, because it counts it as a view even if you watch, I don't know, I'm sure I bet it's more than 5 seconds. Maybe it's 10 seconds or 30 seconds. What do you think, Ad? Maybe, I don't know.
I have no clue, and this is all stuff like that might have been nice to have if I could include, but I was just like, I'm not going to get into any of that. Or like how much they projected or were projected to make.
There must be a video
I could
on
have
that.
gone. What's up?
There must be like because like we're not even just like asking scooter questions now. We're asking bigger picture questions. I bet you there must be a video on that someone's made.
Oh, there are so many accounts, and I'm sure we already know this, but as a reminder, so many people make their bread and butter on YouTube just breaking down how YouTube works. Like dozens of accounts that are like, today I'm going to tell you how to go viral. I'm going to tell you the tricks of the trick. And like they just get 1 million views on a video telling you how to make 1 million views. You know, it's almost like those when we were growing up, the like get rich quick infomercials. And it's like, the get rich quick is making the infomercial in the book that you're selling to tell people. It's not the actual information that you're giving that will allow them to get famous. So yeah, there's 1 million videos you could look that will break down what actually matters. We're not going to get into that here.
Speaking of ad revenue, I already had one ad 10 seconds after clicking on the live. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you for watching that. Maybe it's time to get a YouTube Prime account.
That's what I think the biggest account, and we got to get into this soon, the actual
we could
PowerPoint, but that's the biggest, like, screw getting Netflix, HBO, Disney, getting YouTube Premium has been the biggest, I don't want to say lifesaver, but the most noticeable, like, oh my God, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with ads anymore, especially like putting on videos when you go to sleep. And then all of a sudden you're like, why have I been hearing an ad? Like once they started pumping out ads that were an hour long, everyone's been getting those starting a few years ago. I was like, oh no, YouTube, you broke me. You win. I'm getting premium. Because sometimes I'm like, I'll just let it play out. It's probably 30 seconds. And then like 30 minutes goes by and you're like, is this guy still on this infomercial about editing software? And like, oh, this is an hour long ad. So yeah, get premium, or else, especially when you're searching around, you're trying to find a video like a tutorial, and every time you got to go through an ad just to realize, oh yeah, this video sucks.
I ain't got money for YouTube, buddy.
Well, yeah, that's the trade-off. That you got to look at ads.
You got money, Josh. Get the fuck out of here. You got money.
Oh, this was Josh.
Yeah,
Josh, come on, bro.
All right.
Sell a couple parts.
And just watch the ad.
I might have an
Josh.
extra.
You're donating.
I might have an extra
sloth.
of space. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go.
I got to get my family plan.
The top.
Yes, so it's broken down. You can see the category in the top left, content brands, and then within them, I have them alphabetized. But this one I think only has 4 in the category. So yeah, we're actually starting it off with kind of a good comparison, because Olay has not only are they on the taller end or the top in terms of number of uploads and views for long form, but also in short form. And I have graphs at the end. Just another little last thing I'll say is some of these numbers are dumb. Not these ones that we're looking at that are just like, here's their top 5 and here's the views, but there's graphs at the end comparing them all. And I'll get in more into it when we look at them. The numbers are kind of dumb, but I did it for fun. It might give you some type of indication as to how they all did. I thought maybe if we wanted, we could look at the graphs first, like some of them, but like, who cares? This is all just for fun. The last caveat is this is just for fun. This is nowhere near a perfect
Can I ask a question here?
Yes.
With the content brands, is Olay the overall number 1?
I believe so.
Well,
there's only 4.
We
We got Savage actually, yeah, dude. In terms of shorts,
they don't.
Savage might have him beat.
Yeah.
With 414. So again, these are the top 5 for 2023 for their long videos and their shorts. Not every brand had 5. So sometimes I'd have to average out. You don't see the ad. I did averages of how many views they got per video, but you don't see that until the slides at the end. I kind of wanted to keep, I could have added this, maybe I should have, but I almost wanted to keep it as clean as possible. And I kind of like, I don't know. This isn't it. It could have been done better, obviously, but at some point it's like, you don't want to spend too much time on this. These are videos from 2023. Not a lot of people are going to watch this, but if you are in the industry or curious, you might get some good insights from this. So yes, Olay, they are number one up here. And you could see they were 21,000. Also, I switch off. You'll notice sometimes I actually put like 2,700 and other times I just put like 2K. So for the longs, I think that'll have the K. For the shorts, it has the full thing done out. And that was just, I was saving time.
26, 23, 15, 13, 12. And then with Olay, it is 30, 23, 23. Okay. I mean, Trendkill and Olay are pretty close to one another.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe we could have planned more, a better way to go through this. You're kind of like going back and forth right now, comparing.
I wish we would have put them back to back, because those are two, like, the more, at least on Instagram and everything, they kind of seem to be the two news outlets.
Yeah, again, so many things I could do to make this better, but I was like, bro, I could spend weeks on this and doing like charts comparing each and whatnot. I was like, screw it, let's just talk. Like, I think just going through all of this, you'll kind of get a good idea without having to see graphs. And it's stuff people already know if they're in the scene and watching videos. Your intuition about how these brands are doing is already kind of like leading you towards, I guess, answers as to how these brands are doing overall. It's not like, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of huge revelations. Being like, oh my God, I didn't realize Olay was way better than Trendkill as far as the views that they're getting.
No, yeah, I was just seeing like, okay, so, and then the upload number, that's for the year. So they've uploaded 118 videos this year. Wow.
Yes. And I do have a chart, I think, that compares their, I don't know, there might be one that's like their uploads versus overall performance.
And also just to point out, they've gotten more views since Addy's been working on this chart for so long that this video has gotten 7,000 more views since Addy did this chart.
So again, I gathered this data kind of in like the first couple weeks of 2023 to get it like as accurate as possible. And again, it's for fun. It's not an exact science. You know, I don't think it would really change anything.
Right.
So yeah, you could see that's Olay, 118 uploads, but they've only been around since 2018. That's something that's kind of interesting to look at later on, is like when they started and how they've been doing. But they've definitely gone heavy on the shorts. And to reiterate, we're going to mention it multiple times, those shorts views are not indicative of how the other 233 videos did. I bet if we were to go look at their page, you would see, especially when their top one's only 20,000, most of their shorts were getting like 1,000 views, you know, anywhere between 500 to 1,000. Now these top ones are probably 2024. But if you go back, like, see, there's one 951. I mean, so far for these ones, they have a better range.
Pretty good, yeah.
And some, you won't see it here, but I could just chime in and tell you from what I remember. Some brands, they get more views the more they post. Others kind of tapered off, where it's like when they first started, they got a lot and then it fell off. So I even think I thought I saw like one in the 100,000s for a second there, but that might have been different years. There could be some mistakes in here, because again, I went manually and I would try to do like 10 accounts a day, 5 accounts a day, because it takes a lot longer than you think to gather all the stuff and make it nice.
Wait.
So maybe one slipped by.
Wait, is this even,
someone's like, wait a minute,
is this even possible? This is what you put as number one. You said it had 20,000. So since Addy did this, didn't it just say that it had 100 on this? I did popular. Yeah, so that same video now has 155K.
It's like blown up.
It blew up at some point since Addy did this information. So that also kind of shows that, like, what's interesting is that, like, you could put something out and then, I mean, this has been Addy's been working on this for a couple months on the side. That's crazy that all of a sudden that clip blew F up.
Well,
I mean,
click on that real quick, and then go to the 3 dots on the bottom, and then get description. Okay, that is 2023. I was like, oh, did they maybe re-upload it?
no, I mean, look at the title. It's identical. Oh, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
well,
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I noticed Sondeezy did something very similar. One of his most popular videos is a 10-year-old video, and then he used the same title. It's like DIY number 7. He did it again. DIY number 7. I think it's a different DIY. And I was like, what was that you were doing there, bro? Using the same title off your most popular video.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, this is basically what it is for the next 61 accounts. But yeah, Olay did good. They were probably one of the better well-rounded brands out of all of them that did a bunch of longer videos as well as a bunch of short videos. And there's maybe like it's really the top accounts overall did a good amount of both.
Okay. So that's Olay. Their number 1 video was the Hell Ride trip, which is it safe to say that this is the video of the year by view count?
I think it might have been in contention. Oh, for them, yeah, but I don't know about their Olay competition. Where
I meant for scootering overall.
Oh, is this one the top? Yes.
This is one of the top videos.
That's like an actual riding video. That's like
this has riding,
because
right?
You'll see some people have done long form videos like John Reyes that have way more, but it's not like it's him just dicking around doing
for riding
viral shit.
Let's say it's
that's something I didn't take time to do, is like break it down by each video. Like, and I was thinking of doing that. I was like, that's going to take forever. Like, what kind of video is this? Is this a riding video? Is this more of like a day in the life? Is this like wanting to go viral kind of stunt thing? But I think overall, this is a good amount of views for a riding video. This might be up there with the top ones.
Okay, so this is their top video. Their next video down was a game of Scoot. That's kind of interesting to see that.
And we don't have to go through every one. Maybe.
Well, it's the top 5. Just mention it. Obviously, we saw the Leon 25. Of course, was not only their number 1, but also their number 2. And then that clip blew the F up. Interesting to see that.
Yeah, and one thing to mention, it's not that big a deal. Some of those titles for the shorts for multiple accounts, they put a ton of hashtags. I don't know if that helped or not, but some of them I deleted just so it would fit.
Yeah.
And I left in a couple because I thought the titles might give people an idea of like what people are titling videos to try to like go viral.
So just
now Savage Scooters. Sorry, go on.
I just want to show everyone, because Josh said he'd never heard of this. This is Savage Scooters. They're a repost account. They just are going on a lot of their stuff that posts. I'm sure Addy can get more into this. Is just them swooping stuff from Instagram, from the top post just on Instagram, stealing it and then reposting it here. A lot of park footage, not a lot of street.
Because you could see I think they were the largest. They posted the most amount of shorts and just videos overall. Or I should stick with shorts, because videos I kind of want to mean more of the long form. Again, I'm going to keep saying different things, but even their long form videos you could see are just compilations of clips, and they only did 4, and they've only been around since 2019 and have 82,000 subscribers. So they've kind of blown up the most over the last handful of years, last 5 years. But as you were saying, they kind of just repost, but it's paying off.
Here's a clip
like views get 2 million.
Here's a clip they stole off of Nolan's page.
Yeah. But again, with 414 shorts, they like if you go click on that slide again so I could see the full thing.
Yes, sir. You
can see from their top view 2 million, and some of these they're rounded. It's like 2,200,000 something. Their 5th most viewed is 1/10 of their first most viewed, like 2 million to 200,000. So that's another point that I'm going to keep bringing up, is the bulk of those videos are way less than those top 5. And like, you don't have to go click, but like there's going to be plenty that are 1,000 views only.
Their most viewed video is a stolen clip of Sondeezy.
Yeah. And who
That's
knows, maybe another one
crazy.
has overtaken it in the last whatever.
That's crazy. That's their number one clip. Here's their second most popular clip.
Yeah. And I think they were also one that had a bunch of hashtags. I looked at that a few times and was like, how do I feel about this?
Smoothest scooter trick ever recorded. The boing thing of this is that, and this has gotten 200,000 more views since Addy did his work. The crazy thing about this is that the kid doing the trick gets literally not even his name. Not that he doesn't get tagged, he doesn't get money. His name isn't even attached to the clip.
Yeah.
That's why Savage Scooters, it's one thing to be a repost page and steal. It's another to not even recognize the person's hard work. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah, and I'm sure like every video some homie like it's like, oh, it's this rider, but like, dude, that's after the fact. Like if you're doing the minimum, like they're doing a lot of work in terms of posting multiple times a day.
Yeah.
But like you're doing the bare minimum, at least you could tag people. And we don't need to go into all that right now. It was more to just look at performance and then, but you know,
Wow,
like this is going to be a long thing just for people watching this, maybe multiple episodes for us to get through all of this.
Yeah, 'cause we're already halfway through today's episode and we haven't even gotten anywhere.
Yeah, we're on slide number 2.
Just to point out though, Ad, they have broken 10K on every clip. It's kind of crazy.
Well, there's like a 3.1K. Yeah.
Oh,
relative
wow.
to their top views though,
okay, so
it's not a whole lot.
That's,
you know?
No, that's their worst clip in a long time. All right, we gotta watch that. We gotta watch that. Why does that one suck?
Like there's a couple 10Ks. This was painful to watch. Oh, maybe it got like flagged or something, because that actually is pretty gnar. You would think with that, I haven't seen that. Triple backflip to gnar bail. Yeah, I mean, if you put painful in the title, maybe it like not shadow bans you, but you know. So I mean, I gotta give them credit, even though a lot of their videos are way lower than their top 5. Like to continually get above 10,000,
it's difficult.
I feel like that's actually harder than it seems. And were they the one, I should know this, they weren't, that's a different one that they went famous. They were the store that did like the blue and black scooter.
That's a different one.
Yeah, these actually, they were a surprise Savage. I was like, wait, who the hell is this?
Savage is just, they just swoop. They're legit. I'd love to know who you are, Savage Scooters. But I totally would understand if you never want to come out and say who you are, because you're just a stealer. Like straight up. I'm not denying that you're working hard. Like you swoop the clips, you repost it, you title it, you're hashtagging it. You clearly are looking at stats or tagging them correct. I don't know what you're doing to make this work, but you're also kind of a straight up douchebag.
And I think that's what a lot of across social media, that's what accounts are. Only so like
a lot of times
if there's a viral cat video, you're only going to make one viral video of your cat if you're that lucky. And so there's no point of finding all the individual people that posted the viral video. You're going to rely on animals, whatever.
Yeah.
Cat videos, resharing everyone's cat video. And within that realm, I feel like people are like, oh, whatever, that makes sense. And scootering, though, I feel like we take it a little more personally, you know, versus like someone sharing a bunch of cat videos. But they're not doing anything that everyone else isn't already doing.
Yes and no, Addy. It has become more of a thing more recently on even YouTube. We don't need to super dive into this topic, but there has been a lot of other creators who are kind of bummed when their clips are getting stolen by some there's like certain individuals who do those review videos where half the screen's somebody else's content and then they just sit there with it and do facial expressions. YouTube has started kind of a little bit of cracking down on that, and it has become a thing where it's like, if you're going to steal it, you got to at least tag the person and link them in the description. That has, I feel like, become like that's at least the right thing to do at bottom line.
Yes, you got to give credit. And I like, in some ways, I appreciate that people are like curating clips, but I think for a lot of people, they're just like, oh, this is an easy way to make money.
Exactly.
You know, albeit not a lot of money. And that's where I'm like, okay. And you can maybe kind of tell that it's like Savage, like, oh, I'm sure this person was like, maybe I'm not, I could be wrong, but they're less about like, I want to spread to grow the sport of scootering. It was like, oh, I want to be able to like take clips and make money.
This person probably could possibly be doing this for more than just scootering. They could be running 5 or 6 of these pages.
Exactly.
Where they picked little niches. They realized they could get away with stealing the stuff from Instagram, and those same riders or people not realizing they were uploaded onto YouTube, because that's clearly what he's doing. All of this stuff, I know for a fact, are Instagram videos that he swooped and then re-uploaded. And there's no tagging of anybody. But let's get off Savage Scooters.
I mean,
we could dive more into them. They're a very interesting page. I just wanted to explain exactly who they were because Josh asked, and I think a lot of people maybe who watch us have no clue that this even existed.
Yeah. So definitely pay attention. They have, I believe, the most shorts uploads, and I will say I know from professional experience, like buying footage for a job that cost, thousands of dollars, even a photo that cost thousands of dollars. Not only do you pay for the footage, you then also tag them in the final, you give them credit in the broadcast. So they're getting paid and they're getting credit, versus in this instance, riders aren't getting paid for use of the clip and they're not getting credit. That's a little messed up.
Josh said,
the Wild West out here.
Why do normal repost pages only put the tag but not the @ so they can't click on it? I've noticed that a lot. I don't know, maybe because they don't want the person to actually get the notification on their end.
Right.
So they're like, I'm going to hashtag it, but I'm not going to add it, because if I add it, they'll actually get a notification on the other end. I mean,
is there something with like an algorithm where if it sees you've tagged someone, they're like, oh, we're not going to push this as much because maybe it's a reshare versus like original content. Although, like, how many times are like a brand doing like a collabo with someone and they'll tag him with it? But yeah, I don't know. Again, that's a different. Go on YouTube and I'm sure someone's broken it down. Okay, 10.4. 10.4, I didn't know. I mean, they've only dropped in 2022, and I don't know. I think a couple, like, if you started your account in, like, December 15th, 2021, I just made you 2022. I wouldn't go backwards. If you were January 15th, 2022, I wasn't making you 2021. Like, you made the cut. So I think some of these brands only came on my radar because we did a talking shit and looked at them, and I was like, all right, I'll throw them up there. Because I did want to do some smaller brands or less well known, haven't been around as long, and you can kind of see how they're
on
doing.
The uprise. They're on the upcome, right? Like they're kind of new to the whole thing. I didn't realize they started in 22. I thought they would have started in 23. So it's kind of good to see these dudes and what they're up to.
Again, it could be later. It could be like October 2022 for all we know.
It's April 28th, 2022.
Okay, cool. 10.4. And some, I think you could change your name. So it's like it was some dude and then he changed his name, even though he's been on YouTube since forever. I could be wrong on that.
Oh, no, you're right.
And so I swear there was one account where I'm like, that can't be. They couldn't have been around that long. Someone just like a rider changed their name to their brand. Anyways, they were interesting of being like a smaller brand that actually had more than 5 uploads, both in long form and short form. They didn't get a lot of views, but that's not surprising, especially with 350 subscribers. What you will see in the later graphs is they have more views per subscriber than the larger brands. And that's one of those dumb numbers that like doesn't tell you much, but it kind of does. It tells me that they have more people obviously coming from outside and seeing their videos because they're getting reshared. And this is kind of what inspired me to do this, but it's worth mentioning is like scooter videos used to get a lot of views. Like it was YouTube and, the Funk Bros and Tanner Fox. None of them are on here, by the way, because they don't really scooter anymore. And some of them don't even have a lot of uploads to begin with. Or like they still scooter, but their content is like, it's not scooter based. You have to be like a scooter focused brand to make the cut here, or I just didn't remember you. So yeah, what's weird is you'll see brands that have been around a lot longer. Their numbers are kind of skewed because they were there when the iron was hot. you know, when the getting was good. And some of these newer guys, they're never gonna be able to get that subscriber growth that brands were getting in the 2015 to 2018 range. So 10-4. Looking good. Like, keep it going, dude. 350 subscribers. That's fine. But they're, you know, they're pushing shit out. 27 uploads. You got some Isaac Miller. I actually I haven't watched a full interview that they've done, but I like where they're going.
Here, I'm gonna show you.
Like they're just having fun.
Best interview to watch. Right there.
Oh, Parker was on there? No way.
That's the best.
I didn't know that.
That's the best one to watch.
I probably skipped it because it was not 2023.
Yeah.
Although YouTube made it weird because it'll say 1 month ago, like looking in March, and then you click on it and it's 2023. I'm like, what the hell? That's not a month. That's 3 months ago. And you have videos that say 3 months ago that actually are. It's stupid. It's just. This took me a while because I actually tried to be like perfect. I'm sure something slipped through the cracks, a video or two, but I was like, no, I'm gonna get this as exact as possible. I did listen to a lot of the Alex Blom. I never know how to say it, Bloom or Blom, and Will Judy video because that's how they kind of came on my radar.
Wait, what's interesting? I didn't.
Oh, and some of Hep Greg.
I did an order of released or whatever. Wait, where's? They had Delaney on.
I did not know.
Oh yeah, right here. I didn't realize I had her on. Interesting. All right. Well, so 10-4. Cool. That's their numbers. They've done.
And I don't know why I put them as a content brand.
I mean, that's
I
what
feel
they are.
like they were a weird one. Like they could be a crew.
No.
You know.
No, they're interviewing people. They're content.
They are content.
They're on the same.
It's just difficult because they're not like
Savage Scooters. There needs to be a third repost brand.
Yeah. Right. Right.
But then at the same time, like ohlaybrand, they're kind of doing like a lot of their shorts to me seem like the same thing Savage is doing. Right? Like they're just swooping clips and reposting it. It's not originals. Some of it is pulled from their long format videos. But then some of the rest of this, like Worst Slams 2023, that's just a montage of clips that they swooped. And then
and I am surprised, not to go back to Olay again. I'm surprised they didn't get, and they did have one video that's now at 100,000 plus. I'm surprised they didn't have, with that many uploads and the types of clips they were using, one that like blew up to like 1 million. But then again, if you go to Savage, how many subscribers do they got? Okay, 82 versus Olay's got.
So Savage won the short format most views, right? Obviously.
No, I think it was Ryan Williams and John.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but their Savage is up there. They had the most uploads, I believe.
Yeah.
They were doing more than one a day by those numbers, obviously.
All right, here we are. We're at Trendkill now. Let's pull up their #1 video was the parallel video, which was like sat clips and stuff.
Yeah, and they were definitely one you want to compare because they're more like a core traditional, almost like what Thrasher's YouTube is now. As far as being like a more core focused,
I think it's a curated to a certain style and a certain like vibe.
Yeah, totally.
In a way, so.
And they did good. Like they had 50 uploads. That's like up there, for I mean, by the nature of their account and what it's meant to be, you'd expect them to have more long form uploads. But yeah, they did good, and like their top view count is pretty decent for 18,000 subscribers. Now look at their YouTube years, 2020 or 2013. Have they really been around since?
No, this had to be something else. You're right.
Yeah. So that, I mean, again, maybe I screwed up one.
Wait. Oh, my bad. This is Trendkill. I thought this was parallel. No, that might be
because they had the logo for a while, and I remember boxes
that's
having
right. That's probably right. Let's go to oldest video. 11 years ago, Corey Van Loo.
Wow, Corey Van Loo. Nice.
There's the Trendkill
1 minute,
right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that makes sense because the shirt had the anchor on it. I just feel like they're way more prevalent now. I mean, obviously, a lot of time has passed.
So yeah, their number one video was the parallel thing. Their second video was 23 was I Walk With You. Who was this, a crew video? Yeah.
Filmed in Stockholm.
Love Svensson.
Hey, Kirk.
His cousin. That's interesting. And they had a few
Yeah, well, like,
shorts.
look at their shorts. They only did 8, but they did pretty good for those 8. Now, that being said, I'm sure people notice, like, when you do, like, not a lot of shorts, I feel like they get more of a bump. They're like, oh, this account's trying to get into the shorts game. Let's get them some more views. I'm just assuming there.
Looks like he's doing a lot more shorts now, even.
Yeah, I noticed some brands going back, because I initially wasn't going to do shorts.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really wanted to focus on long form videos, and I'm like, no, I gotta at least go in on the YouTube shorts. Not gonna do Instagram, TikTok, but I think there's a lot of insight to be gained of also looking through the shorts. So that's why this didn't come out way earlier, and I had to dig through. And in doing that, I did see some brands like only started in 2024 or put way more focus, or vice versa. They haven't done shit in 2024. They're like, we're all in on 2023. And then maybe they realized, like, oh, even if you get 1 million views, I think you and I, last time I was in town, we did the math on a video, and it's like, not even scootering. And it's like, oh, if you get 1 million views on a short, like, we looked at like a Mr. Beast video and then ran like a number we found online about on average what you get per view. And he was like, oh, he made like a couple $100 off a video that gets 1 million views. So maybe if you're posting all the time and getting 1,000 views, you're like, why are we doing this? You know, especially just resharing clips. And that's what I think it's going to be interesting going forward. I'm kind of like getting way ahead of myself, but like, are we going to see brands grow or taper off on shorts? Because it's kind of your motivation. If you're in it for like, I just want an account that's going to make me money, I don't know if like just posting shorts is really going to get you a lot. Like, it'll get you some beer money, maybe pay for a lunch every now and again. But overall, like, I think I don't know exactly. We'd have to look at the numbers again. Wow, that was gnarly. What is going on here?
It's Michael.
Holy shit. I haven't seen that. That is a huge drop. Okay, I have to come clean. I didn't watch every video on here. I was just like, get the data, you know.
This is the number 1 video from last year. I have to say something, man, because I said it about Savage Scooters, so I can't let Trend Kill slide. Bros, you gotta put the name of the dude in the clip. McKean, my brother.
Yeah, and it could be, and you'll notice with title, and like, and you should do this. People take titles very seriously.
That's fine.
And like every word. So maybe the thought is, oh, if I start tagging riders, that's like,
but in the description,
if 1/10 of my title is a rider name, that's gonna ruin my view. You know, that could be 2,000 views that I'm not getting just by adding an extra text.
But let me say this. I'll agree with you on the title, which on shorts or on. Is it called shorts on YouTube? What do we call them? Shorts, right?
Shorts, yeah.
The shorts on YouTube, you mainly just see the title itself, especially if you're on desktop or on the phone. You don't really, you got to go out of your way to get the description.
That's why it sucked doing the shorts, bro. Like, right click, go scroll down, and doing that.
Yeah. But let me say this.
Tooting my horn here.
I know. And I give you props for that, Addy. But what I'm saying is that that's fine, Addy. I'll agree with you. Take titles serious. I don't really. I still try to do traditional titles because I'm an idiot. I don't go for clickbait titles. Unless it's clickbait crew, then we do.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. We like to have some fun.
Yeah. Girls just want to have fun. Now, that's fine. I get doing the clickbait title, but come on, dude. It takes 2 more seconds to go into the description on YouTube and type in roof drop yada yada with Michael Holman.
Yes, and I think
the description.
And to your point, ish. Oh, 1UP. That guy's everywhere. Or is that 1UP? The tag?
No, it's 1UP. It's 1UP. Yeah.
I think going forward, what people have to realize is, again, you're not going to make a lot of money off of these shorts. So you might as well do the right thing, if that's the right way to say it,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, maybe they just weren't thinking about, because I know I've done stuff write-ups where I totally forgot to tag the people. Like, I didn't even tag the rider whose signature grip tape we're announcing, and then you'd be like, bro, he's not even in here. Or like, you forgot to add the filmer for the video we're promoting. I don't think that's what happened here. It's consistent, but I think going forward, brands should probably realize it doesn't matter. Like, give an accurate title, like do it for the scene. No matter what you do, what hashtags you do, your threshold for views is like only so high. It really comes down to the content. Maybe it might be tough if you have this epic bail and you're like, oh my god, this is gonna go viral, and if I do anything more than epic bail, it might hurt the view count. But again, even if you have one video that gets 1 million views, it's not going to really change much overall in terms of how much you're bringing in, how many more subscribers you're getting. So unless you found a way to consistently do your titles to where you're going viral on each one, I'd say just tag the riders. Well, if that's the reason riders aren't being tagged, you're afraid it'll hurt your view count.
I do want to take my comment and step a little bit back. It looks like maybe they just made it an oopsie on the mic one. Although they do take whatever they write as the title, their description, they just copied and pasted it, which I do that too on HellaGrip. I do. But yeah, on most of the, it seems like on Trendkill, most of the shorts actually have the rider's name in it. It just coincidentally, that one of home, and actually, let's see if this one does. He goes, it looks like they go for, yeah. Okay. So when they think that they have clickbait, they're like, okay, we got to go for it. Yeah. I understand that. I understand that. Now what we do is kind of stupid. I never want to hear any of my riders, the team, ever have a chance to even have an excuse to bitch at me. So I put their name first and foremost. If the clips of Tyler Whelan, it goes Tyler Whelan, then what it comes from, you know, whatever. Now, there are a few times when that's not exactly true. Whenever we do clickbait, we make
like the trampoline one. Did you put like Trevor Trampoline?
We put a funny title. Yeah. No.
But that's one where it's like, oh, you didn't tag me and me dicking around on the trampoline, like, right. Dang, you know, like it versus like, oh, that's some banger I filmed and you didn't tag me, like that makes more sense to be upset about.
Even for like the 1 minute challenge videos, we write the 1 minute challenge. You know, I probably could even change this to being Andrew Hag 1 minute challenge tail whip.
I mean, his name alone, he's one of the rare. That's enough to get me to watch. I mean, yeah. You don't even have to say what it is. Just write Andrew Hag. I'm like, all right.
But I try my hardest to put the title of the, if it's riding clips especially, name, then jibber jabber.
And that's another thing that like I thought would be good by doing this is like it goes back to, we come from a more traditional thing where that's no question. And maybe it's not that we're older and come from there versus the new generation, but in doing this, I have noticed some trends, and I thought people might also gain some insights into various trends just looking overall at this, including how people title stuff, which is why I was like, no, I got to have the titles there, not only so we could click on them, but I think that will help people see, like, you know, are they tagging riders? Are they giving it clickbaity names?
Yeah. I mean, in doing the clickbait name, I totally dig this because like that homing clip and that other clip of the homie dropping in, both those clips are from another video, right? And the awesome thing you can do, oh, I guess it doesn't do it on the computer version. Maybe it's just on the phone. On the phone version, there'll be a button right here that will link you to the full length version. So it's a great way to try to send people from watching stupid shorts to the actual long format video.
Yeah.
So if you got
that's a good point.
If you got to clickbait that in the title, I'm just saying, take the 5 seconds out of your day, add the name in the description, so nerds like myself can go, hey, who is this guy dropping in on this building? I'd love to know. Oh no, can't find out. I want to know who this guy is.
Yeah, and when you're only doing, and this is not just Trendkill, you'll see it for most people. When you're only doing like less than
Josh just got
a dozen shorts. Bro, we don't. I mean, maybe you control it. I don't know if you control on the live how many ads.
I can. Yeah, there's actually a button, Addy. I can actually insert an ad whatever I want. I don't. I didn't insert it. I set it to automatically let YouTube decide when to add the ads.
So they miss stuff, like, because it's live, like they come back 2 minutes later and it's like, yeah, you just can't watch that without rewinding.
Yeah.
But then like you can't keep up. You're constantly in a state of trying to keep up.
It just jumps you forward. You just miss that. It's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can go back, but then you're gonna have to like play it and fast forward to eventually catch up. Because that happens with Over the Show, where I'm like, oh, I got to go back. I missed that when you guys are live, and I'm like, oh, but then I'm not gonna be synced up with them, and I'm gonna have to skip.
But there's no ads on
the purpose.
There's no ads on Over the Show.
Yeah, and I'm just saying in general, if I miss something and have to go back while you guys are actually live, and I want to be present with you, so I like when I comment, you're seeing the comment in real time. I'm not like commenting on something that happened to you guys 8 minutes ago, and you're like, what the hell is this comment about?
Josh said, ha ha ha, do an ad right now then. Okay, here, I'll do one for you. Insert ad. There you go, Josh. Now, Josh, you're not even here, so Josh.
Yeah. Fucking Josh. Jesus. I'm glad he's not here right now.
That was pretty good, right? But yeah,
we'll never know we discussed this.
There's like a little button when you're live. And you could also delay ads. There's a button to delay ads and also insert.
Delay. Well, let's move on. We'll go. I don't know when we want to cut this off because we're only on slide.
Yeah, I mean, we're
our fourth brand.
We're only on the fourth brand. We've hit an hour. I mean, we could talk. How long? What's the next one? Oh,
now we're getting into product brands. This is good because I think, again, one of the biggest things that intrigued me to get going on this, and not that I'll do this every year, is I'm like, man, it seems like the game it's continuing a trend and almost has reached critical mass where the brands that used to be the big posters of media have completely fallen off.
Disappear.
Like they're not doing long form videos. They're not doing shorts at all. Like when we get into the graph and you see like, and you'll see here, I put like an asterisk, no shorts uploads. I think almost like a third or half the brands had no shorts at all last year. And it wasn't like they were making up for it with a bunch of long form. So the brands are falling off. Again, someone might say, well, on Instagram, AO's like the biggest player. Probably not. It's more about the individual. And as we go to what seems like the individuals having the power, if that's the best term, I really wanted to look at how the brands did last year before they like officially fall off, if that's where they're going, you know?
Dude, I didn't see this video. It's actually pretty freaking gnarly. It got 22,000 views.
Yeah, I don't know what it's at now. So, I mean, maybe we should eventually. 25. I could put this up somewhere so someone could download it if they really just want to see like the top 5 videos for certain brands just to have fun with it. Of course, again, some aren't there. I just tried to go with a general range of larger, well-known brands. So
maybe I could take like highlights from today's episode or something, and then put the images on screen and make like a video that way too.
Yeah,
but then again, I mean, that's just the same thing we're doing right now. Here you go.
That was sick.
Here's the freaking.
Yeah, there it is. I mean, I like it because like it's done in a way where you could just click on the link. You don't have to like, you know, I mean, they wouldn't be able to copy and paste unless you. I don't think you do that. You could make an image, then have Adobe turn it to text, but you just going and typing it into YouTube. If we could take all that out, and if you yourself just wanted to click on it and be like, all right, I'm just watching the highlights. I don't even have to search.
Is there a way to put it on Google Drive, open to everyone, and then put the link in the bio of today's episode?
There's multiple ways to do it. I don't know the best way for us. I mean, we could put it somewhere, and then there's just a link to it on like Linktree or an Instagram, a link to download it. You know, or we could use our various file sharing things. You know, we could put it on like the website, like as a blog post. Here's this doc, you know. But that wouldn't be till after we're done going through all of this.
So AO had barely any videos, but got some good views for the little amount of videos they had.
Yeah. They've been around for a while, 43,000 subscribers. Not a whole lot. I mean, we're only like 15K. So again, a lot of this is like how you've been doing since you started. So yeah, not a lot. AO, what's up? No shorts, only 3 full lengths. And something that might have helped, but again, too much time, didn't want to deal with it. If I actually put in how much time, because there might be a couple of videos that are only like a minute and a half long, and you're like, oh, full length, what? And I don't mean full length to be like, again, I'm going to say this a lot to clarify. I don't mean like full video with parts and credits and whatnot. It's just anything really that isn't a short, you know?
I mean,
vertical shorts.
They haven't uploaded anything in 7 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think their Instagram too is pretty slow. I'm wondering how they're doing over there.
Yeah, and that's what the bulk of the conversation will be while we're doing this, or at the end, or are the insights we're gathering from this. Like, is it that brands are just like, they don't see that it's worth the investment, like they're giving up behind the scenes, but they're like, we got all this product to sell, blah blah blah, or they're playing some different game, like they're all on TikTok and like those numbers just aren't here yet. Well, you know, so they're like, screw YouTube.
Here's the thing I want to point out too. Look, I like AO. Obviously, Brian rides for him. He's a hella grip homie. We've always been friends and good people. We've done collaborations with him. But dudes, you got a new logo. You never switched it out here. This banner is super dated from like Zig Short, Corey Van Loo time period.
Yeah, isn't that the Gats font?
Like what's like? There's no link to your Instagram or website here. Like what's going on here, dudes?
Yeah.
You kind of feel like they gave up a while ago, or were never paying attention to certain things. And
yeah, that could be it, because like they only have 40
community page,
186 videos. I mean, they seem like just like we've known people involved with AO, you know, and hung out with like the owners or owner. I gotta, maybe I'm wrong in this, I gotta give them some credit. They seem to really want to focus on like what we grew up with. Like we're not doing like clickbaity videos, or like we're gonna make a scooter out of, you know, pretzels and see if it rides. Like they really wanted to focus on like quality riding and only putting out like a traditional style video. So as that's changed and it's become more about individual riders posting like fuck off videos, which is fine.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're not going to do that. Or they haven't transitioned. Maybe that's going to be a plan in the future. But another thing to discuss is like, you know, are these brands just kind of either throwing in the towel or adapting? One sounds more positive than the other, and being like, listen, going forward, it's going to be on the individual riders to post, and then they just tag us. And that's how it goes going forward with sponsorships. You know, it's almost like the riders are now the brands, and then the product makers sign on to just get tagged or what have you. The equivalent of like surfing, where it's like, okay, now that you sponsor me, I'm just going to put your sticker on my surfboard, and that's about it. You know, there's not going to be any individual surf parts of me. I'm probably butchering it for the surf culture, but yeah, all you get now as a brand is you just get a shout out. You're not going to have team videos, you know, for the most part.
I just think that the AO dudes like have checked out of the building. Like, I mean, dude, they stopped using that old logo it looks like 4 to 5 years ago, right? 4 to 5 years, and you haven't switched this up?
Yeah, and they don't have anything for 2024, do they?
No, nothing. They haven't.
You just look, yeah.
So they haven't uploaded in 7 months.
And some might not be a surprise. Like, we know from being involved, like, oh, I haven't really heard anything about them, you know? Like, and whether or not it's positive or negative, or you're interested or not, you just hear stuff, you know, being with the crew or just being online. And it's like, oh, yeah, AO. Like, my thing with them, and not to disrespect, I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about AO. What are they up to?
Here we go. Addy's favorite
Let's
company.
go, Apex. So Apex, 96,000 subscribers, been around for 10 plus years, only 6 long uploads and 2 shorts. 2 shorts.
Too short.
You know, for a brand like this, too short. I expect more.
Wow.
But, you know, I haven't,
but their overall
I haven't figured out
count,
whether I should look at this negative. Yeah, 10 million.
Not
Pretty
bad.
good. So I don't know. Like, because my initial reaction is to be kind of negative and be like, oh, not posting a lot, what's up? But it could be behind the scenes. Again, they have a bigger plan going on, or they've decided, and the verdict is still out on this, whether it's kind of a waste or you're not getting your return on investment, your ROI for doing videos. So as I'm like, oh, boohoo, Apex, it could be that they have the last laugh. And this is for multiple brands going forward.
Well, I mean, that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing. You'll never be able to really say, because with extreme sports, it's hard to say whether or not the footage is what makes the kid, or the clip is what makes the kid or the person want to buy that from that brand. It's really hard to say that. Sometimes you can directly say it when there's a link to a product attached to a clip or a video, and then you could say, hey, this clip or this link was clicked on 100 times or whatever, and then you can actually have a number. But then other times it's like that, like me and you were talking about this before we went live, the Hag clip with him promoting the Summit grips, that did great numbers for us, but we didn't sell a pair of Summit grips. You know,
it did not. It doesn't translate to sales all the time.
But I'm not upset. I'm not upset. The clip still did great numbers for us, and I think it promotes the summits, and maybe people. We just need to keep doing that, you know?
Yeah, and eventually either it's a tipping point thing, or you're just no way of knowing like how it actually translates to sales. I think I remember watching like a surfing doc years ago. I don't mean to go into surfing here, but I remember them, like the biggest eye opener is like what caused surfing to blow up in America and sales to skyrocket was a movie. Like a Hollywood movie, and it was about, I forget if it was called like Chitty something, not Chitty Bang Bang, something like that. And it was a surf movie. You know, it wasn't like surf clips, but it was like, you know, teenagers doing stuff, and surfing was like a central thing. That movie is what blew it up. It wasn't like, oh, here we're going to put out, it wasn't necessarily like Endless Summer or like actual surfers surfing. It was just a Hollywood film. And I think that goes back to not the most traditional, because obviously there was like radio and whatnot and books. But even before we were born, what could result in sales was a Hollywood film, not necessarily anything that the brands did, you know, putting stuff in catalogs, running ads. It was a film, and that's what out of nowhere caused them to blow up.
I get Endless Summer.
It's always changing.
I always get looking up what you were saying. I get Endless Summer. I was trying to figure out what the name of the movie was.
Endless Summer. It's good. I even now today, I think it was made in the 60s. It's still like a good thing. Even like I watched it when I never surfed before and was like, oh, it's pretty cool. And it's very traditional with the voiceover. But yeah, so it's always changing what translates. But now it's like you can make a scooter movie. I don't know if that would blow up scootering, you know, if it was in Hollywood.
Dude, Josh is totally right. This, I think, is the movie you were talking about, Addy.
I was not talking about surf. So I'm talking about a movie from like the 50s or the 60s. But that's the thing, though. That's kind of my point, is that movie there did not do anything for surfing. Maybe it did. Maybe it did. I mean,
Josh remembered it.
But before there was ever the internet or people being able to make VHSs and DVDs and have handy cams, it was going to be a movie that blew you up. Now they're like, oh, well, it's easier to make a movie and get in theater. Well, maybe not get in theaters, but
no,
yes.
I mean, it's easy to get in the theaters if you just want to be there for one night. You could go rent a movie theater out anywhere you want, play a skate video or your own made movie.
But yeah, it's just to say, like, no one's going to spend $200 million now to make a Hollywood video just to boost sales of a product. You know, like that's dinosaur thinking. Not that was the purpose of that surf video I'm talking about. That was just like a unforeseen byproduct of it. But that goes to like, maybe not, we're not making fun of Apex or these other brands. Like they may decide like, okay, like doing this stuff doesn't generate sales, and that's what we're about, or even a lot of views or awareness. But then like, what's the other way is kind of what I'm left with.
Oh, they haven't done many shorts at all. They've only done, wow.
2. They did 2 for 20. Well, you could see there on the graph. They did 2.
But they haven't done that many uploads at all to begin with.
Yeah. I got to give them credit. They gave the names to the writers.
They did, yeah. And then upload wise, they haven't done a video. They've only done one video since Addy made his list, so that's kind of interesting to know. Oh, real quick.
Yeah, and for a brand with 100,000 subscribers, they only got 900 views in a week. I mean, that's standard now, which is why it's hard looking at the data since these people have started, because so much has changed, not only within like viewing habits, but also viewing habits within scooter brands.
Josh says, for real though, watch the movie. Chicken Joe.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen Surf's Up. It's sick.
Chicken Joe will make you laugh your ass off.
Yes. Chicken Joe. Wait, is that the like, what's up, bro? Yeah. This movie's sick. I've seen it maybe twice. It is fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh, I totally know who that is.
He's like the stoner chicken. Yeah. Stoner chicken. He basically was going to be our low. If we didn't have the sloth, it was like, bro, we better rework that chicken.
Yeah.
Or rooster, I guess.
Okay. back to Apex.
Just so we want to get a copyright claim.
Interesting.
Make our own.
I feel the same that we said about AO did better numbers with less uploads. But both brands are pretty lackluster just with their uploading.
And you'll see that for basic, like we started with some big hitters. We're going to see going forward that a lot of people kind of regress to the mean, which is not great.
But let me ask you this, Ad.
Great.
And maybe this is more research we need to do. And I think the answer for Apex would be no. But is it because Trendkill and ohlaybrand are taking like the number one Trendkill video is a parallel video, which,
well, that's something I didn't think of to put in my list of like points to make, which is like the rise of brand sharing content, but it's only on their page, not like Trendkill. Like some brand posts a video and then Trendkill goes, can we share that on our page? It's like it only exists on Trendkill's page, and the team or the brand that created it doesn't have it on their own. And that's something I feel like is more new. And like, I think that's where I got the Thrasher comparison. Isn't that how Thrasher does it? It's like, it's this guy's part, but you could only see it on Thrasher.
Yes.
It's not going to be on that rider's YouTube channel.
Or the brand's channel.
Or the brand, which is like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Like, is that where we're going? Where individual brands are like, no, I'm not going to post it on ours. I'm giving it to Trendkill because they're like, give them all the views.
But see, the way that I've always, as TM a Heligrip, it's like, well, then that's not a Heligrip video. Heligrip videos are on the Heligrip channel. I'm sticking to my guns on that. And to just quickly discuss this, I have no problem with doing a video collaboration with Olay or Trendkill that was a video made for their channels. But if it's a rider's video promoting a product like a grip tape, a handlebar grip, whatever it may be, that video is going on our Heligrip YouTube channel. 100%.
Well, that's like, I'm with you, but that's almost like where you look at it from a Hollywood perspective of like, when it's like Lionsgate presents, it's like, oh, I'm probably screwing this up. Like Lionsgate is the distributor, but who actually made it was what's Peel's thing. It's like the Monkey Paw Productions. It's like Monkey Paw is Heligrip or whatever, and then Lionsgate is like the Trendkill distributing it for everyone. So maybe that needs to be more of a distinction. It's like you could still say it's a Heligrip video, but like Heligrip produced, Trendkill distributed. But even though it's weird to use those terms because we're talking about internet form versus theaters.
But I'll give it to you in theater form. Who made the Star Wars movies?
Lucasfilm?
20th Century. See, but you said Lucasfilm because George Lucas is such a G that you remember Lucasfilm, not goddamn 20th Century Fox. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because there's Lucas Sound. Like, is Lucasfilm also include Lucas Sound and Industrial Light and Magic?
THX was the sound. Remember?
Ah, you're right.
Yeah, it was THX.
You're right, THX. But that's where it gets confusing because they're like, oh, this is we did the sound.
Yeah.
But like, 20th Century is going to get all the credit, and the younger generation or people that just don't know how the film industry works are going to be like, oh yeah, they did all that.
Yeah.
They did everything at their studio.
Right. But like, if you
or like Netflix now, Netflix is just putting it out there, but in some cases they actually funded it and produced it.
But I want to be the studio too, so it's like I'm gonna I'm.
You want vertical integration. I like. See, they got rid of that back in the early days of Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm sticking to my guns. I'm getting that. We're keeping.
You want to have the actors, the script writers. You want to have production, distribution, exhibition.
Look,
I'm with you, bro.
Scrolling down.
Well, I think that's where, in some ways, that's where some people are taking it, is they control all of it. And I think that's why we're now almost getting to the vertical integration of the writer, who is not, they're their own writer. They make their own products. They shoot their own videos. They exhibit them on their own. It's now everyone's an entrepreneur. They're a media entrepreneur. But let's keep going. Let's get a few more in before we hit the 2-hour mark.
Yeah,
I'm looking around because the animals are like, what's going on here? And
Apex isn't that interesting because a lot of their stuff, it's like a day in the life, a trip to Barcelona, a POV thing. Just looking at their stuff, it's like I don't even know what's going on here, really. I think
they're worth looking into because they are like the most expensive brand.
Yeah. Oh, Addy, we know.
Yeah, and I get it. They're Australian, and I will say, and I do this almost every video. Love to everyone here. We're just having fun. If you're involved in scootering, making some videos not enough, I don't give a shit if your products are super expensive or not that great. As long as your heart's in the right place, I'm glad you're here. And it's a good thing you're on the list, even though we're like, yo, what's up?
Dude,
you guys are kind of screwing up here.
That's hella funny. Like, we should even mention, if you're a super diehard fan, you probably saw the comment. But Shelby left a comment on last week's episode saying,
I think I told her like
call me.
Oh, I said don't DM us. Don't DM us. Yeah.
Yeah, Addy made the joke. Then she left a comment, and then I did speak with her, and also explain the same thing that Addy's saying right now. What's hilarious is like no one watches this show. Let's be real here. No,
there's gonna be like we might get 200 views for this one.
We may
300.
We mainly do this show for Josh Young. This is a show mainly for Josh Young.
This is John. Yes.
So that being said, it's crazy that Shelby watches the one episode where we're like actually discussing what she's involved in.
Well, I don't know. Maybe someone was like, "Yo, they're mentioning you. They're saying the logo sucks. Get on their stat," which I think is the only negative thing I said, right? And also, like, we were just ignorant in terms of like knowing how it all works. But that's not negative nor positive.
About your
we're just
logo
like
comments. I didn't.
I was like, oh shit, did I say something bad? Nah, that was it. But then you figured out. Oh, they use that logo for everyone. That's just how they did it for Scootering, which I was like...
no, somebody left that in the comments and pointed out. We got to give credit. So
we don't always do our research. Like this one, I did some research for this video, but the other ones, we do it on the fly. Because no one's watching. That's another thing. I'm not going to do so much insight like Scooter Brad would do when he was getting all the views. It makes sense. Like, dude, do your homework, get as much data as possible, because that's a little bit of your niche. I'm not going to waste... like make it perfect for an extra 10 viewers
for Josh.
For Josh. Honestly, even some of this I was like, Josh doesn't give a shit about this. I'll throw it in anyway.
Well, okay, let's move on to Aztek. Now here's what's interesting about Aztek, and they kind of go back to my studio thing. Dom is like, nah, dude, I'm doing all my own videos, and he treats them that way too. It's interesting. Even the title work here, he's very.
I'm glad you noticed that. I'm glad you noticed the title work, because I do think about that, and I like using the pipe, or you could call it a bunch of things in like scripting. They call that the pipe. You know, if you're doing a command line, I mean, I forget the like grammatical term, but I like using the pipe. You know, to separate. Now he did some dashes. His most video had a dash instead of the pipe. Oh, I guess they do a combination, but I'm glad you noticed. Now, I figured you were going to mention how this was a weird one where this was a DVD and they re-uploaded parts, and some probably would have made the cut, but he started uploading between 2023 and 2024. And I think he even had an upload recently that was a Lotus part, right?
Dude, he's had multiple.
Oh, the Dan Barrett. Yeah, the Dan Barrett. I was like, wait, where did this come from?
Jack Mount, Jake Sorensen, and Dan Barrett.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of the year.
But this is a weird one because it's not media that was just for YouTube, even though maybe that was their motivation. Like, this is a weird where they're like, I don't.
Yeah,
It's
but,
an
I mean,
older.
that's
It's an
fine.
older thing that they're sharing. Like this video was from 20. Wait, did it drop 2023? Havasu?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. This is a weird one. I don't know.
Okay, so here's the trailer. So when did the trailer come out? 1 year ago. So the trailer came out.
Yeah,
It says 1 year ago. Then it's like
that's what I'm
October
saying,
6th.
dude. It's not a year ago.
Okay.
It's way off.
So October 6th, 2022. So 2023 was the one that came out. No.
Yeah, May 2023. Or no, 2 years, because we didn't go. Shit, when we were in Havasu. Oh no, it's almost May again. So, damn.
Havasu wasn't last year. It was the year before.
It was, yeah, because
It was.
I think I turned 35 at Havasu,
All
and
right,
now I'm 36 and a half.
Whatever. The point.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This one was a weird one. I'm like, oh, they're re-sharing DVD sections that have kind of been out for a hot minute. But obviously, unless you're at the premiere of the DVD, the masses didn't get them. But
No.
The
Remember? No, hold on. Back it up. The Lotus video, he sold it by parts, or you could buy the whole thing directly off the Aztek website for
I did not know that.
for download. But it was still purchased. There hasn't been a free version, and that's another thing we could talk about. That's not today's episode. How skate videos used to have to pay for it, which was gave back to the team for filming the video, versus nowadays where everyone expects it to be on YouTube for free. That's a whole different conversation. But he did have the videos available on the internet, but you had to pay for them. Then he started breaking them down in the past year and a half or whatever, and uploading them individually. I think DB might be the final part.
Yeah, I mean, it better, dude. They've been doing this for days, spreading it out. Either way, having done a premiere, and this could help or hurt, and selling them, their overall view count for 15,000 subscribers, only 11 uploads. That's pretty good. Now, for us, it might be, or if you've been around for over a decade, you're like, oh, if this came out in 2015, add a 0 to all those totals. It would be 320,000 instead of 32,000. But compared to other brands, especially like they're not pumping out shorts, a pretty good view count overall. And they're one of the few, when you see my graphs at the end, they're one of the few that have a view per subscriber over 1, because they have, or it might be right around 1, because you could see 32,000 views and they only have 50,000 subscribers. So that's like a 2 to 1. Again, that's the stupid number. It doesn't tell you a whole lot, but I do think it's worth kind of mentioning. You might gather something from it. But also, if you keep your subscriber count low, not that you're actively trying to, usually you're going to have a better view per subscriber ratio.
Yeah, Josh said homie had a lot of cash wrapped up in flights. I don't blame him, and I believe he said he also believed the riders got a part of the sales. Yeah, I mean that's totally cool. I would look, if I did the DVD, I would milk it for as long as possible too, because that's the thing though. Doing a DVD in today's industry, like it's not smart. So he had to do what he had to do. He tried his hardest to make back as much money as he could. And then he slow played releasing them on YouTube for as long as possible. And that's, hey, to each his own. Like I probably, if we did a full DVD, I would do the same thing. But we're also have no plans of not ever doing a full DVD because that's insanity.
Yeah, and I can see it two different ways of like, well, with my interpretation is that there's not as many of these type of videos coming out anyway. So who cares if you space it out? That being said, I could also see the other side, which is like, you got to get that out. Because people are pumping out new clips and content every day. You can't run this video that you've been filming for 2 years and then extend the release of it another year. Like, this has got to come out. But if you just appreciate a good full-length part of like banger footage, like it's not coming out all that much anymore. Not that it ever was. That's kind of what made like consuming content way more fun to me personally 10 years ago, is you had to wait. And that wait made it so much better of like, oh, it's finally here, versus like, maybe it's because I'm older and I've seen a lot, but I'm not as hyped. Like, I'm not like, shit, gotta get on Instagram and see the latest scooter clips. It's just like, oh, that's more of what I saw yesterday. You don't get that like 2-year gap from the last clip you saw from that rider. And now all of a sudden they're a beast,
Yeah.
Anyways, still in the A's.
I was about to say, you know what, dude? We're an hour and a half in. I think we should just...
Let's pump out. We could go to 2. Well, do you want to real quick? Do you want to go to the very end to give a peek of like the graphs? We don't have to go into them.
Do you have a graph just on the, what did you call this? Content brands? Maybe we could look at that.
No, I lumped them all together.
Okay.
But
well,
I don't know. And I could have done a ton. I just kind of did. I don't even remember which ones I did, but you could start at the top.
Well,
and we'll go more into it later, but
okay. All right. Oh.
This is just looking at overall subscribers. This is looking at how many years they've been on YouTube. So the orange bars are the years they've been on YouTube, and the blue section is how many subscribers they have. And that's to give you an idea of like, oh, if you're on YouTube longer, does that guarantee more subscribers?
Interesting.
And the answer is like, no. Like there's a few, like you could look, I think Dakota's the top one. It's kind of hard to see, but he's been around longer than anyone, a year longer than anyone else on this list. And he's on the lower end, but still pretty high relative to everyone else. You know, so what this graph kind of shows you is there's a fat blue bar, which means a lot of views, or I mean, subscribers, kind of spread evenly throughout, you know? So like John Reyes, he hasn't been around, he's been around forever, but as a YouTube account, not as long, but he has a ton of subscribers. You know, say like, but Fusion has been around for 16 years, only 11,000 subscribers.
Are we on here?
Yeah, we're down there. You're just like 6, 7 above. So at least you could see our blue. That's kind of nice. We have a little bit of blue. So yeah, we've been around for, I can't see the number for the years, but we have 16,000. I think I even rounded up. We're actually at like 15.9 or something. Maybe we're at 16. So that graph was very interesting to tell me that like the time in which you created your YouTube doesn't really matter. Like you could blow up overnight,
or you could be doing it for forever and then blow up. No, or is that not?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I don't know if there's someone on there we could look at that was like, oh wow, like maybe Ryan Williams, but not really. Like he's been consistent, it seems like, but like, yeah, I'm sure he blew up a lot after like being on X Games and Nitro Circus.
And
so
real quick, Josh, I know Addy hasn't put down the glasses, but there's no way we're finishing this today. If you look, there's 75 pages Addy has created. That's why he's like I said, like think about this. We're in April. Addy's been working on this. He took the screenshots or whatever of the videos, like he said, after the first 2 weeks of the new year. This is not.
Yeah, and there was a break where I wasn't messing. I just like I got work 7 days in a row. I'm not gonna mess with this.
Yeah, totally.
Or I was like, I'll just do. I'll research 5 accounts a night because my initial spreadsheet was like, nope, not doing this. But then when I thought about it, just do 5 a night, and then eventually you'll be there.
We're milking.
And then when I got to the shorts, I was like, oh, here's 10 accounts in a row with no shorts. I've got no data to gather, and that really got me going.
We're milking. My point being is that we're milking this into a 3-parter. Okay, we're an hour and a half into today. We're Josh. We're milking this into 3 parts. We're gonna rant and rave about this for 3 weeks for sure.
And obviously, each video I won't necessarily have to start with all these caveats of like, this is what I'm doing, this is how I did it, X, Y. Like here, I'm covering my bases, which we spent like 45 minutes doing before we even got into it.
Right.
And I'll do a little bit of a recap. But
next week we'll do a short recap and we'll jump right into it and shit and get further along with it.
Yeah.
But
look at a few other graphs real quick, or finish what you're going to say.
What I was going to say, though, what I wanted to know is, so years on YouTube versus total subscribers. And our clear winner is Ryan Williams, who has been on for longer than Dakota, it looks like.
Yeah, this graph's kind of messed up because it's like 2 and 1, and some of them work that way. I could have done it for all the graphs, like, oh, well, it would be helpful if I could also compare it to this. But yeah, and you'll see in all the graphs, pretty much the best performers are Raymond Warner, Ryan Williams, John Reyes.
Okay, here we go for YouTube.
And then it drops off drastically. Like the graphs are so hard to read because of freaking Raymond Warner and Ryan Williams. If they weren't there, these graphs would be so much more clear because they are such outliers
that it's
relative to the rest of scootering. They make it incredibly hard to see. However, it makes it look like all brands are equal, and then there's these two guys. You know, so you can't really tell that, oh, the Vault's doing 3 times as good as Hella Grip, because we're all kind of just saying, I mean, this one's bad. There's a clear distinction, but in general, all accounts look the same, even though one is doing like 3 times better according to some metric with these outliers. But overall, and this is kind of skipping ahead, John Reyes is doing the best. Like, I think John Reyes, for how long he's been around, how much he's putting into it, he's kind of the big winner, and maybe tied with Ryan Williams and Raymond Warner.
I have to say this too, man. And you know what? I don't care if it's controversial. I don't even know if we should have Ryan Williams on this list. Number one,
he was the one rare one where I was like, oof, he's got a lot of stuff that isn't scootering, but I'm going to put it on.
Yeah.
And it did screw things up, but I'm like, I got like, so many people are going to say, what about Ryan? And I know you, I'm not saying you don't respect him. Like, I got a lot of respect for what he's done.
I respect him, but he's not also.
And I feel like he's a good control of, like, he's the peak of what scootering could be for like a brand perspective. Even if you're not down with the style, I feel like he's one of the peak guys, and that's kind of why I wanted him there, is to compare. No,
totally. But also have to point out that he's way more than just a scooter rider. He's a BMX.
Oh yeah, he's like base. He might be even more BMX now, like in the eyes of other people. He's like a Travis Pastrana in a way, of just an action sport beast.
Totally, that's fine and dandy. But like, when it comes to core scooter shit, let's be honest here, Raymond Warner's our dude.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that. If it weren't for Ryan and being in there, Raymond would be like the best example of like what a scooter YouTuber could be. And I don't know, I mean, I know kind of vaguely, because I have Instagram and TikTok, like how their performance is on those channels. But again, just kind of wanted to focus on YouTube.
So my whole point of the Ryan thing is like, let's skip him. Let's just move that right there. And let's look at Raymond Warner on down, because I think it's interesting.
I thought about doing that, but I'm like, I just want to nail this out.
You're right. You're right. We'd get too many complaints, and it would be whack if we didn't include R. Willie, because Josh immediately said, no, R. Willie is a scooter rider. I back him. Totally. And that's how majority of people are, what they're going to say. Everyone wants to back him. But I'm telling you right now, Raymond Warner puts his money where his mouth is. He bought a scooter shop. You know what I mean? Like, he continues to support scootering in a big way. Point being is, Raymond, if you compare him to the Vault, let's skip John Reyes too. Let's go top dude versus the first store or brand. You know, the first non-name.
And I'll say real quick, that's why like Tanner Fox isn't on here. It's like he has scooter stuff he's uploaded, but it's so minimal compared to the rest. Unlike Ryan Williams, a good chunk of it is scooter stuff.
Well, and Ryan's stuff is still extreme sports at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally.
It's BMX, but you know.
Yeah. And I don't even think Tanner has a lot of stuff anyway. But we don't need to get into
Tanner, please invite us to come down to your warehouse. We want to ride it and make a video.
Yeah.
And a clickbait crew. Dude, Addy, if we get Tanner Fox, we got to bring back clickbait crew for one episode.
Dude, just him. He wouldn't allow it. But if he did,
I think he might.
That would be sick.
All right. So anyways, Raymond Warner, my point was going to be that Raymond Warner doubles up. Doesn't he double up? Almost double.
Who, John or the Vault?
The Vault.
Yeah, they would be 1,160,000. So yeah, he's doubled it up.
No, John Reyes.
1,170,000.
John Reyes isn't that far behind. Like John Reyes, I bet hits $1 million this year.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at now. I got these numbers days ago. He and I don't know, like once you get close to $1 million, if that encourages more people to subscribe, or right when you're there, they're like, no, I'm not gonna push you over the hump. 948.
He's gonna hit $1 million this year.
Yeah. So he's already gained 38,000, 40,000 subscribers in 4 months. You know, less than 4 months.
Wait,
so yeah, he'll get there.
All right, guys. Here's the sad part, and this is why this show's amazing. Where are we on this list?
Dude, you're almost there. There we are. 16. You passed us. We're at 16,000. And again, I rounded. Some people it benefited, some people it didn't. I just wanted it to be easy to see.
We're not at 16 yet. We're not at 16 yet.
I mean, but some I got an egregious rounding where they were like 10.6.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, all right, you're 11.
So we have more than Aztek. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe Aztec got a bump and we're now like even, but yeah. Again, that's why it's tough because we all look pretty similar when you zoom out, but like Wise has 9,000 and Fasten has, 5 times that much. But with just zooming out, you're like, oh, they're all the same. But I think that's worth. I think.
We're still ahead of them.
Okay, nice. So yeah, even Blunt having 62,000 is way more than Goat. But we all look kind of similar when you look at Ryan Williams, which
Well, yeah, that
probably wouldn't have benefited if I got rid of him.
That's why I want to ignore Ryan. Even if you look at Raymond and you go to Ethic, which is one of the biggest scooter brands, maybe the biggest scooter brand out right now is Ethic, right?
Yeah.
You compare.
I still don't get the DTC, but I don't want to get into that. I hate that DTC. I'm always like, wait, what is that?
Okay.
They're actually Ethic DTC, but sorry.
All right, yeah. It is interesting. We'll do a whole episode on just what the hell is that could be a great title too, clickbait title.
Yeah.
What the hell is DTC?
Like D is the T Trotty, like Trottinet.
Dude, like 52 for the biggest scooter company versus over 1 million. That's kind of crazy, man. And look at Savage Scooters.
Right? That's good. I like having the big numbers here. It's not necessarily comparing all the brands, but like I think this is what everyone's striving to be, right? Everyone is kind of striving to be a Vault, John Reyes, Raymond Warner. That's kind of the mountaintop, if you will. Because especially in the age of social media, we're all comparing ourselves to someone else, being like, "Oh, well, how did they do with their video?"
This guy, I think personally, this guy. We'll get.
Oh, is this Anton?
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, dude. What? Out of nowhere.
This guy.
Out of nowhere.
This guy is like huge. We'll have to. I can't wait till we get to talking about his page, which will be hopefully next week's episode. Because this dude, I just saw his name right here. Look at where he is.
Right, and I don't know. We'd have to go look at the other graphs, or just his account slide. Like, when did he start out? I don't think he's been around that long.
I can look right
2018? Here. Oh yeah, right there.
2020.
Oh, 2020, January. So he got a solid 3 1/3 year.
He's gonna be up here with these names in no time at all. I really think. I think he'll surpass.
Yeah, you can see some gimmicky stuff he's doing.
He's gonna surpass Lucky. He's gonna be on par. I think with Sondizi at least. Actually, he's gonna be the Russian Sondizi, or he already is. He's already the Russian Sondizi.
Yeah, and they're all trying to be the same. Because John Reyes is an interesting one where it's all scootering, but so clickbaity it fudges the line of like. I think it's most videos like. Popular videos like using sprockets for wheels, and it's like, yeah, this is scootering, but really it's like not like there's a scooter involved, but it's like, yeah, it's all this stuff doing different wheels, which I'm not gonna say it's not scootering, but it's that weird in between of like I'm trying to be viral and keep it scootering, which I commend, but like it's not really about doing cool scooter tricks or advancing the sport.
Are these real photos, or do you think that these are photoshopped? Like he just takes.
I've noticed there's a filter people are putting on everything to make it look almost partially cartoony. I think it's real. Yeah, I think it's real. They just add these filters that almost, again, they change your skin tone and make everything look a little less natural. But in a way, it looks photoshopped. Like, oh, they did a great Photoshop job, but like, oh, they just added some filter.
Because he goes.
But yeah, I've noticed
really
people bite
basic,
this style,
really
where they
basic
hold the
thumbnails.
scooter. I hope that changes, and I get why it's popular. The holding the scooter in front of stuff. I know I've done it before for like something years ago. That's got to stop. I mean, maybe it works. John Reyes, I think, is overall, I think the best overall performer on these charts. But I hate that look.
Josh said I also back Raymond Warner for the record. No, Josh, I know you do. I just for the record, I also back Ryan Williams. But we have to point out that he's way more than just your average. I mean, look at this. He's freaking flying by. Like, come on, dude. This is it. It's not even fair.
Mealtime. Can you hear the food coming out? Oh, mealtime. He's got the automatic feeder. The cat doesn't.
Oh, Oscar.
Anyways.
I mean, Oliver.
Oliver, yeah. Anyways, but yes, we love everyone here for the most part. If you're on the graph, it means you're involved in scootering, and we love you for it. Although we might have some disagreements about things.
Yeah.
Respect.
For sure.
Respect to everyone.
Number one disagreement: stop making grip tape. Okay.
Seriously though.
Wow.
I've been listening to Mark Cuban, and I'm like, Cube, should have listened to you earlier.
It's interesting to scroll down here towards the bottom too, Addy, and see these lesser ones that you've done, just for the subscriber numbers. But I think,
look at a different one.
I think that a lot of these numbers, I think that 10-4, just to point out, I think that they're going to double up this year. All right,
well, what you'll notice in other graphs is that it flip-flops for a lot. Like the big brands with the huge subscriber list, they're on the bottom of other lists. You know? So this is the amount of YouTubes the brands uploaded. Like go to the bottom. It's like big names at the bottom, mixed in with some other ones like Fasten, like Fusion.
So Dakota
Lucky.
Dakota did 0, which is pretty obvious.
Dakota's the only one I left on with 0 because I thought I was gonna get to Dakota and not see a lot because I know he's kind of fallen off. But I was like, oh, there's gonna be a few heavy hitters. The stuff he did upload. I'm like, he's only done 1 short and 0. He's just gone off YouTube completely.
Yeah.
So I thought he was almost not like Ryan Williams, but like I gotta put him in there. But like, see, dude, River down there, they got 1. Like,
oh, the GOAT dude only did
Hella Grip
1?
only got 3, but Hella Grip we focused more on like the live.
Well, and shorts, we did. Hold on.
And shorts. Wait. Our shorts performance is much better, and there is a shorts graph comparing the number of shorts uploads.
GOAT Scooter, homie, he's fallen off. He's donezoed.
I mean, look at click on their videos. It goes,
He did,
okay, so they've done
4 weeks ago. Okay, but
they've basically done like 2 or 3 this year.
Wow.
And then even if you scroll down, like, yeah, they go back like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. There's not a lot overall. It's like he never picked up anyway, or whoever was doing
Yeah.
But we watched one of their videos, and I think they were they part of Olay's like year-end competition? Oh, Red Spring, that was it.
Yeah, we watched Red Spring. Yeah, we liked it. We liked it.
Yeah, so I think they look way better when you look at views per subscriber because they had like one video that blew up. And they don't have a lot of subscribers. So they look like they're doing way better than Lucky, who just looks awful across the board. And they may actually be awful when you look into it. But they were around and big when scooter YouTube was huge. So they racked up the numbers years ago. And that's kind of why I have to keep mentioning that, like, these numbers are all kind of funky for some of these graphs. Not all the numbers, but some are a little funky because, like, a lot of brands are being dragged down by how well they did in the 2015s when it was like printing money, you know? And that could be popularity. Maybe bots were very prevalent, you know, not that they were buying them, but they were just bots.
I also want to say that really our number should just honestly be 1. It shouldn't even be 3. 3's being, I mean, it actually was 3, but it was only 1 video part. It was freaking Hag's Birthday Bash 2K22 and the Hella Grip Xmas giveaway 2K22.
And that dragged down our average views because I had to divide it by 3 instead of just dividing it by the 1 video.
Yeah.
So again, that's why, like, the numbers are a little funky. These are not clear indicators, but overall you'll get a general idea of trends.
Yeah.
And the trend being that, like, YouTube long form is just dropped off. For most people. Dude, Blunt, Envy, Apex, 6 uploads.
Well, let's put a bow on this for tonight. We're past our hour and a half marker, which I thought we were gonna hit only an hour today, but we did an hour and a half.
I was ready to go 6 hours.
Hour 45. I know, but I gotta get to a dinner.
OG Blake is one. Yeah, definitely want to look at that eventually because he's one of the, like, what the and who's this?
Sondeezy is gonna be super interesting. He uploaded the same amount as John Reyes, right?
Yeah,
and Dissidents, which is crazy. I mean, there's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot more. We got easily 2 more episodes of talking about all this because, I mean, like I said earlier, Addy made 75-page charts, and we were only originally on.
We were on like Aztec, I think we got to.
So we're only on page 8, folks. So we definitely will be talking about this for a while.
These are the ones to watch. If you're in scootering, you might, again, a lot of this you kind of, that your intuition tells you like, oh yeah, I'm not surprised, but still,
Now, Addy
it kind of validates some thoughts.
Addy made tonight's thumbnail. My only comment, Addy, I'm wondering if we should put the word scooter in here.
Well, that's why
YouTube
I only
scooter
put this in the
analytics?
slide. Yes, I thought I wasn't planning on actually using this, and I even had the thought, oh, if Tubi wants this, I gotta add scooter to the YouTube analytic thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that. But
that's fine for now. That's fine for now.
It would have pushed it down on the slide, and I was like, I finished that last night and was like, screw it, just leave it.
Right.
We're only gonna see that once when we first open the dock.
But the thing is that I might want to use this thumbnail for next week's episode as well, and going forward, or maybe we'll use the pool one.
Yeah.
So maybe
I like that one with the graphs. I was gonna do another graph one actually for this because he has multiple of him looking at graphs, but I was like, the pool one's funny. We'll keep it funny for the background, but the graphs one is, I think, better.
And this was episode.
And also
50.
kind of funny because the YouTube thumbnail before it is also a call out to him.
Oh yeah.
Although I look more like I'm praying. I don't know. There's a certain way where you spread your fingertips out to be like I'm in deep thought versus pray, deep thought. But kind of in between. Like you don't have to be like that. But I don't, and like getting the thumb involved.
And we don't need to do that tonight because the thumbnail's already done. Perfect. Look at that.
Well, I gotta update it, but
well, we're good.
Yeah. Pretty proud of myself for that.
Test it on the new one. Oh, test it on the new one and see if it does more numbers. Great, Josh. I will listen to that.
Test what on the new what?
Oh, totally. Delaney actually texted me. All right, last comment, and then we'll wrap this up because I really got to get going, unfortunately. Delaney did text message me, Josh, and she said the same thing, and I'll even show it. Delaney also just texted me a photo of this. She was watching. She didn't comment, but she was watching.
Did give a $5 donation this time?
No, but she did text me. Addy doesn't know about this, so
I gotta change my view to grid. Wait, go back to the image. Uh-oh, it went away.
Here it is.
Oh, what? Damn. How did they make a bottle with an image on it? So wait, so what's the deal with that? Is Jones now releasing like NFTs of like with GIFs on them? It's not even a GIF.
There's a barcode scanner on the bottle. You scan it, and then it plays the clip.
Oh, wait. So does she actually have a bottle out with her photo?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No way. Nice. Ooh, and it's blue? Wow, congrats.
I said
So that's two Hella Grip homies now with a Jones soda.
I said, how do I get one? And she said she's going to bring me one over the summer. So don't forget, Delaney, if you're watching, I do want that. I want to put it up in the office. I didn't get a Jake one. It was bullshit.
Yeah, dude. I searched for it.
Dude, if somebody in here, if you want to be a Hella Grip homie for life, give me that Jake drink, and I will promise you I will hook you up with a box that will outlast your lifetime of grip tape, of grip tape.
A lifetime supply, but then they're always like, actually, a lifetime is one per year, so.
Whatever. But yeah, shout out to Delaney. That's awesome. Great news for her.
That's sick.
Congrats to the Hella Grip homie.
And hers has Jake doesn't have the little link.
Yeah.
Versus hers has the link.
Nah, Jake's a bitch. We all know that. Come on now.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
I didn't say he wasn't.
I'm glad. Oh, man. This is perfect time.
That's sick.
This is perfect time to end because my third monitor just went black.
Like it died, or like you have like some cable problems here?
I might have cable problems, but that's not good because these are cables I took from the warehouse.
Yeah, I just ordered some more. I turned my monitor, didn't realize it was in the cable manager, so it just ripped it out or bent the shit out of it.
No, but this is
an amateur move.
This isn't good because the Discord was on, or my bad, the Streamlabs Okay. All right. It's back, baby.
Well, I'm still seeing it.
It's back. Oh, no. I just couldn't see it. You know what I mean? Like, I can't see. It doesn't matter. I fixed it. All right. Perfect
I
time.
muted again.
You were, but we're fine.
Nice. I gotta hold this close. It sounds so much better. Sounds so much better when I have it close.
Well, you know what? We're gonna end the show on this argument. You hate hella hard, or you have in the past hated on my mic arm. Now do you see?
No. I've always understood. That wasn't me. I wasn't hating on the mic arm.
Yeah, you were like, bro, it's so stupid. It blocks your face and stuff, and like you got a mic in front of you.
Well, okay. I guess I acknowledge that you need it at this point, but it's when I see the headphones and the mic arm, I'm just like, oh, I'm stuck in the past. I am so stuck in the past with this huge arm and the big headphones. Like, we know 10 years from now, no one's going to use that, and you're going to look like a dinosaur with looking like Don Imus. I'm throwing out controversial radio personalities. Well, even though, and for the time being, you need to do it. It has the best quality for listening and for speaking.
They have better. Well, the headphone thing, I've seen people that wear just Apple headphones that stream all day. So that does vary. Yeah. I mean, you are right now, but like that's whatever.
I don't have Apple. These are some Amazon basics.
Okay,
I do have Apple.
Buds. The mic thing, they do make an arm that comes from the bottom. This was a birthday gift from my sister, so I couldn't complain. And this one goes from the top. Whatever. Yeah. You know, I think the one
I noticed it.
Jerry has the one that comes from the bottom, and it's a lot less noticeable. It's just really the microphone with the one that Jerry has. If you watch Over the Show, shout out to Over the Show.
Because even this, like, if I hold it from the bottom, it's still like you got a mic in front of your face. You know, which I would have thought, like, Addy, unless you're recording
Dr.
a song,
Fraser
who
Crane
cares?
A legend in your area.
Who?
Dr. Fraser Crane.
Is that a real person?
The television show, I think, takes place in Seattle, and Josh is asking.
Oh, yeah. There's another show I saw that's like, oh, that's Seattle, but newer. Nah. No one cares.
Probably
wasn't. It's like Full House was San Francisco, but they only shot once, and that was everything else was shot in a studio.
There's that animal control show takes place, I think, in Seattle with.
Yeah, that was it. A lot of animals here.
Homie from Community. What's his name? Damn. John McHale? Joe McHale?
Joel McHale, I think.
Yeah.
The soup guy.
Soup guy, yeah. It's his show. Yeah, it's a good show. It's all right. All right, let's wrap it up, folks. We'll be back next week. Probably, hopefully, a week from today or something of the sort. So until then.
Let us know people we missed. I'm not going to add them, but there's someone like, why aren't they there? I thought confirm they even have a YouTube.
I thought you were gonna miss Anton, not Aberson, but the other guy. But
no, there were a few you gave me days ago that you're like, go look at who Hella Grip subscribes to. Which I know we got to go. There were a few. I'm like, man, these people haven't posted in like 4 years. We need to unsubscribe these folks, or they never posted at all.
Or they posted once and then they just stopped. Yeah.
Yeah. Or we did it as a joke, like during the live. We're like, let's go follow this kid. You know, he'll be like, what? This is random. And they're like, all right, enough time's passed. Like, why are we following this random kid who doesn't even post?
I forgot about that. But yeah.
I think there's only like 2. I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's when we did the episode searching Scooter on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right.
And then it's like, oh, that video we watched is years old anyway. It's not like it was 2023, 2024. So like, they're like into cars now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with a high tapered fade. All right.
Yeah, they're all into GTRs because you got no actual taste. You just are trend followers. Yeah, I threw in a jab at the very end. I threw in a car jab.